is your name, please?
My name is Prince Louis de Polignac.
What is your name, please?
My name is Prince Louis de Polignac.
What is your name, please?
My name is Prince Louis de Polignac.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one of them is the real Prince Louis de Polignac, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. And here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome once again to our game of deliberate misrepresentation, wherein our panel endeavors to figure out which one of three challengers has sworn to tell the truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you each week by Geritol, America's #1 tonic, the high-potency tonic that helps you feel stronger fast. And now let's meet our cross-examiners. What is your name, please?
My name is Polly Bergen.
My name is Ralph Bellamy.
My name is Kitty Carlisle.
And my name is Gardner.
Now, these three gentlemen all claim to be Prince Louis de Polignac. Only one, of course, is the real Prince Louis de Polignac. The other two have merely assumed that identity, and they do not have to stick to the truth. Now, panel, in front of you, there are copies of an affidavit. Will you please follow along while I read from this original? I, Prince Louis de Polignac, am descended from a family which goes back in French history to the 9th century. One of my ancestors was a cardinal, and another was once foreign minister of France. I was a sergeant in the French motorcycle corps during World War II, was captured and spent 2 years in a German prison camp. I hold the French Legion of Honor. I am now an owner and director of one of the most famous champagne companies in the world. Signed, Prince Louis de Polignac. Now, panel, these three gentlemen, as you heard, all claim to be Prince Louis de Polignac. Only the real Prince de Polignac is required to answer your questions truthfully. As usual, you will question until you hear this signal. At the end of the questioning period, you will be required to cast a vote as to which one, in your opinion, is the real Prince de Polignac. We will begin our questioning for this round with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Number one, what kind of grapes do you use for champagne?
Grapes, a special grapes called Pinot Noir. And we've got white grapes, too.
Oh, I see. Do they still crush them with their feet like they used to?
No,
It proved unsanitary.
it's finished this kind of work.
What?
It's finished this kind of work.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
There are thousands of feet crushers that aren't working anymore.
No.
What happens when unions come in, you know? Number two, where were you captured in Germany?
In Reims.
I beg your pardon?
In Reims.
In the ranks?
Reims.
R-H-E-I-M-S. Reims.
Oh, that.
Reims.
Where did you stay? Where were you? I mean, after you were captured, where did they put you?
Well, they put me in a camp
Where was the camp located?
near Nuremberg.
Ralph Bellamy.
Number two, for what did you receive the Legion of Honor?
I received because I escaped from this camp, and I helped two of my comrades to escape too with me.
Number three, what's the name of your champagne company?
Bobbi.
What? Oh,
Pommery. Number one, what kind of a motorcycle did you use in
The name of it was René Gillet.
Number two, where is your ancestral estate?
In Puy-de-Dôme, the
Near-
Château de Polignac,
Near what large city in France?
Limoges.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number three, are you related to Prince Rainier's father?
Yes.
How?
My grandfather was Prince Rainier's father, uncle.
Brothers and sisters have I none, but that man's father is my father's son.
Number two, how were you captured by the Germans? I mean, number one, I'm so sorry, you asked the question before. How were you captured by the Germans?
Well, our group was surrounded by Germans,
Where was this?
Near Reims. Reims.
Also near Reims.
Yes.
What is the name of your... Do you bottle your champagne where you make it?
Yes, in
Where
Reims.
is that? In
In
Reims.
Reims.
It's bottled on the estate?
Yes, on the Pommery estate.
On the Pommery estate.
Hi, Gardner.
Number 3, I asked this question once before on the show. What are the contents of a French 75? A drink called a French 75.
It doesn't exist in France.
Number 2, would you know the answer to that?
No, I wouldn't.
Number 1?
No.
Number 2, what one-time bigwig Nazi was... What one-time important Nazi was at one time a champagne salesman? Would you know?
I wouldn't know that.
Would you know number 3?
Yes, von Ribbentrop.
Number 1...
Polly?
Huh?
Hello again.
Oh, don't I can't understand anything any of them say.
Well, there we are.
How can I guess which one it is?
We've used up all our time. It's time to vote. So without consultation, will you mark your ballots, panel, and select by that marking number 1, number 2, or number 3. Now, remember, the team of challengers receives $250 for each and every incorrect vote. So, of course, they can win as much as $1,000 if they're all wrong, but we'll see what happens now. Polly, how about you? Have you marked your ballot?
I voted for number 3.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't, I didn't mean to be rude, but actually I don't speak foreign languages, as it was fairly obvious, and so it's difficult for me to understand what you were saying. Number 3 was clearer than anybody else to me, so I voted for it.
Ralph, how about your vote?
Number 2. I rather think it might be number 3.
It'll be impossible.
Number 2 sort of looks like he might have had some experience with motorcycles, and he knew a lot of the questions, but number 3 did have the family pretty well at his fingertips.
Kitty, how about your vote?
I voted for number 3. Well, I felt that number 2 should have known von Ribbentrop, and also I liked the genealogical explanation, which I didn't understand, but I liked it.
Hi, Gardner, your vote, please.
Well, I also voted for number 3, not only by his answer, but you know something funny? You look like a guy who tried to sell me champagne at the Mike Todd party.
The only answer to that is who didn't. All right, there we have it now. You've had our rhymes and our reasons, which we call our votes, and the reasons why we made our minds up the way we did. Hope you agree. We'll find out right now which one of these 3 distinguished gentlemen is Prince Louis de Polignac. Will the real Prince de Polignac please stand up? Thank you very much, sir. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Prince Alexander Obolensky. I was born in Russia. I am now an American citizen, and I have a catering service in New York City.
Thank you, sir. And number 3, you who garnered 3 votes, who are you really?
My name is Prince Albert Poniatowski. I'm of Polish origin and now French citizen.
So, were you fooled, panel?
I'm going to have to take up foreign languages if I'm going to stay on this show.
Well, there we have 4 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $1,000 from Geritol. Gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your visit. We enjoyed having you here. Good night, bon santé, and good luck.
Thank you.
Incidentally, the gentleman informed me a while back that anything they won, they wish to donate their winnings to the Cardiopulmonary Laboratory of Columbia University Division at Bellevue Hospital, which will be done on their behalf. Now we'll introduce a new set of challengers in just... And now may we meet our next team of challengers, please. Oh, yes, Ralph.
I just feel I ought to say something if you'll let me.
Oh, sure.
Last week we had Mrs. America on here, and I believe her title was won partly on her prowess as a cook, and I
That's
asked
right.
a question about eggless, milkless, butterless cake, which my mother made during the First World War, and the panel and everybody laughed at me. I went home, my wife laughed at me. I'd just like to tell you that I've received literally hundreds of letters confirming this and enclosing copies of recipes. And I'd like to thank everybody. I can't possibly answer the letters, but I think you ought to know that, and I'd like to...
Well, I'll tell you
justify
what,
my
Ralph.
question.
You know that we're all coming next week, so bake one and bring it here as we leave it. May we have our next team of challengers, please?
What is your name, please?
My name is Bobbi Baker.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bobbi Baker.
What is your name, please?
My name is Bobbi Baker.
Now, panel, you can close your amazed mouths and follow along with your copies of this affidavit. I, Bobbi Baker, am a professional wrestler. I am one of the few people in the sport who wrestles barefoot. In my 7 years as a wrestler, I have had more than 1,000 matches, and I have been the winner more than 800 times. Signed, Bobbi Baker. Now, panel, these three persons all claim to be Bobbi Baker, professional wrestler. You will question as before until you hear the signal, and we will begin this round as soon as our challengers are seated with Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number one, who is known as Mr. Wrestling in the Hollywood Legion Stadium?
I really don't know too
Number
much
two,
about
do you know that? Number three, would you know?
No.
Number one, what's the name of a pair of Japanese brothers who are wrestlers? Very well known.
Japanese brother?
Yeah. Number two, would you know? Number three, would you know?
No.
Kitty Carlisle.
Too much good there.
Number one, why is it better barefoot?
Well, barefoot you can get better leverage and you have better balance.
Number two, does your beard help you in the ring?
No, not in the ring, but in the box office, it's very good.
Ah, it's good to be a showman then. Number three, are the noises that wrestlers make part of the act, or are they forced from you by the effort of wrestling?
They are forced from you.
Number one, have you wrestled on television?
Yes.
Hi, Gardner.
Number three, is it true that women are not permitted to wrestle in New York State?
That is true.
Number one, where do you wrestle?
Mainly in the Midwest.
In the Midwest. Are you allowed to wrestle in Jersey, number three?
No.
Number two, there's a fellow, a pro, and he's pretty good too, who does ballet steps before he goes into the ring, or as soon as he gets into the ring. Can you tell me his name?
Gee, I know it. I'm just trying to think of it.
Number two, how many hours do you fellas wrestle before a match? Do you rehearse, rather, for a match?
Number two,
Yes.
there's no rehearsal for a match.
Really?
Polly?
He doesn't have to tell the truth.
Number one, I have always heard, my mother used to tell me that if I went barefooted, I would get flat feet. Is it true?
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
Well, number two, don't your feet get larger? Mine did.
I never measured them.
No, yours didn't?
No.
Number three, would you say that the wrestling span, working span, is longer than a prize fighter's?
Yes, definitely.
That's it. Time to vote once again, panel. With no consultation, will you please mark your ballots? And in so doing, select number one, number two, or number three. How about you, Polly? You all set? Mark it quick. Take a chance. What did you mark?
I voted for number one. I think it's number three, but number one, no, this is serious. I think it's number three. She's seen in all the answers, but number one was very quiet. And the quiet ones have been the ones lately.
Ralph, how about your vote?
Number three. Just a wild guess, frankly, but...
Kitty, how about yours?
Number two. I prefer to think of men wrestling.
Hi, Gardner, your ballot?
Well, I voted for number 2 also because I've never seen either a redhead or a blonde with cauliflower ears, and his ears are hidden by his whiskers, so I went for number 2.
I see. All right, there we have it now. We've made up our minds, we've given you the votes, and we see how they work out as we discover right now which of these 3 people is the real professional wrestler. Will the real Bobby Baker please stand up? Thank you very much. Number 1, how about you? Who are you really and what do you do?
My name is Billy Mahoney. I teach modern jazz ballet at the June Taylor School.
And you have a handsome bush, sir, number 2. What do you do?
My name is Bob Ross, and I'm a ballad singer, and I have a new album for Folkways coming out in a few weeks.
Well, we do thank you all very much. Now, let's see. We had exactly 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $750 from Geritol. Enjoy it, divide it, and thank you very much for being with us. Good night. And now let's have our third team of challengers, please.
What is your name, please?
My name is Marion Tinsley.
What is your name, please?
My name is Marion Tinsley.
What is your name, please?
My name is Marion Tinsley.
All right, panel, will you direct your attention once again to your copies of this affidavit?
You're murder, bud.
I, Marion Tinsley, am a student of mathematics at Ohio State University. As a hobby, I play checkers. As a matter of fact, I currently hold both the American and the World Checkers Championship. Signed, Marion Tinsley. All right, panel, these persons all claim to be Marion Tinsley, World Checker Champion. Again, question until you hear the signal. We'll begin this round with Hi Gardner. Hi?
Number 2, where in Ohio did you wrestle?
I'm not a wrestler.
Number 3, did you ever hear of a fellow by the name of Millard Hopper?
No, I did not.
Did you, number 2?
No.
Did you, number 1, Millard Hopper?
Yes, yes.
What does he do?
Well, frankly, I don't know what he does do right now.
But you heard of him?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you're studying mathematics. In what city, number 1, is the Ohio State Journal published?
In Columbus, Ohio.
Number 2, how many games of checkers have you played simultaneously?
Oh, I very rarely play more than one simultaneously, except for fun.
Number 3, where did you win your title as world's champion?
Lakeside, Ohio.
Polly?
Number 3, on a regulation checkerboard, how many red squares and how many black squares are there?
There are none. The red are buff, and the black is green.
What?
The red is buff, and the black is green.
Oh. Will you explain it to me? You said, oh, like you know.
The red is buff colored, not above, like I...
Oh, buff. Oh, I see. Number 1.
At least
I'm away from him all the rest. Number 1, what's the largest radio station in Ohio?
The largest.
Comes from Cincinnati. Number 2, could you tell me?
WLW.
Number 3, could you tell me one of the other large universities in Ohio?
No.
Number...
Ralph?
Number 3, is there a classic opening move in checkers?
Well, everyone has their own choice as to what move they want.
Number 1, is there a classic move? Is there a...
We have a number of openings, and you can't point to just one.
Number 3, do you know a mathematical formula, a trick formula to make 2 equal 1?
No.
Do you, number 1?
No.
Do you number 2?
No.
Number 3, who did you win your checker title from, nationally and internationally?
Nationally, I won it from Stephen Winstrel, and internationally, I won it from Walter Hellman.
Kitty?
Number 3, how old are you?
15.
And you're a student of mathematics at the University of Ohio?
Freshman.
Where do you come from?
Brooklyn.
Great and smart in Brooklyn. Number 2, do you ever play checkers by mail the way they do chess?
I've never tried it, no.
Number 1, what is the highest form of mathematics called?
Well, there are lots of branches. I doubt that you could say there's a highest.
Number 3, do you know what the highest form of mathematics is called?
I believe it would be calculus or trigonometry.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there we are. Time to vote once again. Would you please mark your ballots, panel, without consultation, and vote thereby for number 1, number 2, or number 3? Polly, you working it out mathematically, are you? There goes her mathematics. What are they, Polly?
No, it's very difficult. You see, number 2... I guess we thought I left my glasses on. Number 2 said WLW, which is the radio station in Ohio, which is right. But number 3, I mean, why would you have someone 15 years old going to the university unless he really did and was?
Well, what are you going to call your vote, 2/3?
I can't vote for both?
You can't vote for both, no. What do you pick? I bet it winds up number 1.
Number 2.
Oh, number 2. All right. Ralph?
Number 3.
Oh, I knew I shouldn't.
I just think he knew all the answers, and I think he's a bright young man.
Kitty, how about your vote?
I voted for number 3, too. Well, I don't know. I thought he was very smart, and it seemed plausible. Of course, number 1 knew the name of the good mathematician that High asked. But I've still voted for number 3.
Well, let's see who High voted for. High?
It wasn't a mathematician.
Oh, it
Number
wasn't?
1, no. Millard Hopper was a checker player.
You're not supposed to fool the panel.
I voted for number 2. I thought it was number 3, but when he said he was only 15 and has entered the university as a freshman, I wondered what delayed him, so I voted for number 2.
All right, there you have it. Rhymes and reasons, votes all total. Let's see what we do now as we discover which one of these 3 good people is the real world checker champion. Will the real Marion Tinsley please stand up? All right, thank you. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do, please?
My name is Ethel Davidson. I'm an attorney in private practice in New York at 40 Wall Street.
Number 3, how about you, sir?
My name is Fred Tarter. I'm a student at Bensonhurst Junior High School in Brooklyn. I'm the teen consultant to the Enterprise Association, headed by Fleet Admiral U.F. Halsey.
And so it goes tonight. This has been quite a night, believe me, because another time we have 4 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $1,000. Enjoy it in good health, good night, and good luck to you. Now, we'll return to our panel in just... Well, that's all the time we have, except to say good night, panel, so good night to you.
Good night, Bud.
And this is Bud Collier saying good night for Geritol and reminding all of you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. In association with the CBS Television Network. Miss Bergen's and Miss Carlisle's gowns by Molly Parnell.